Whoa, what was that?
That goblin.
No,
Yeah.
it's a goblin.
It's the YouTube gremlin. The creep licking women since 1974.
I saw those cone boobs, the Madonna cone boobs. That's hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Put an eye out with that. Maybe.
Welcome everybody to the HEX and Apex 50th anniversary show.
Whoa,
We've been
what's
around
that
since
glare?
1974. Wow. Ever
Yeah.
since I saw Hex's ad for that, it was like 50 years. Oh my God, we've been around this long. Actually, 50th episode. Actually, we pretend it's 50 years. I was 11.
I
at the
gotta
time.
hand it to Mel. He's kept up with the numbering. And,
Yeah.
it's
Somebody's got to do it.
yeah.
I can't keep up with anything.
Wow.
Barely my own bank account for
Even though he's got
this
files
show.
on everyone.
Yeah, I got
Yep.
files.
Yeah, we
Yes.
found that out
Files.
backstage.
The
Apex is
the only
keeping
file
files
I
on people.
want is to get me out of jail. I've been watching old episodes of The Fugitive.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
David
Yeah.
Jansen, the one-armed man. He was real. I'll tell you.
Yeah, it
That
wasn't
was a good
me.
show.
Aaron, just tell me how much your bell
Yeah.
is, and maybe
Well,
we'll
what-
take up a collection and get you out of that dungeon you're in there.
Apparently, it is
Yeah.
souls have to be
Hey,
sacrificed.
PBR.
It's kind of, I don't want to have to do that.
PBR
so-
Street Gang. What's happening?
What's up?
Happy
Hey,
Saturday, everybody.
Right.
Yeah, happy Saturday. We made it.
Happy Saturday.
Yeah,
love
it.
40,
Make
it
it
may
another
be our
week.
50th episode of the HEX and Apex show. But 40
Yes.
years gonna celebrate tonight at the pizza place with some old high school buddies that I haven't seen in 20 years.
Really? High
maybe.
school? That's
Yeah.
great.
40 years.
Congrats,
Yep, out of high school. Woohoo.
Thanks,
Wow.
PBR. Yeah.
And still running.
Whoa, man.
Yeah.
Still running. People are
Still
still
running.
alive.
Yeah.
I was like at the 80s high school reunion, but the mistake was no one put their old pictures on the badges, just our
Yeah.
names.
And you're
And it's
wondering,
funny.
is it the wife or the
Wondering-
man?
you're looking at each other like they got so old. And like, who's that? Who are you
Yeah.
again? I'm like, no
Here,
one
let
put
me
the
let me
original
lift
picture.
that flap over your
Yeah.
face. There we go.
I know it's kind of hilarious because you just have to look at the person. They
I
changed so
actually
much.
saw a graduate from my school that graduated in what year did she say? 1973.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
And I was
That's
like,
cool.
wow, I was like in first grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, started in 72 and ended in 73 in the first grade. So she was
Wow.
graduating. So yeah, we didn't, but we kind of met up in college, you know. She was
Oh.
kind of into the graphic arts and stuff and knew somebody with me. And
Yeah. Little sweetheart.
no, sweetheart.
Oh, not like that. Okay. Well,
No.
we're kind of building it up to that. So I was like, whoa, where's this going?
Hey, it's interesting. I got files. No.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh no, the Apex
File that
files.
away.
VHS files. It's all on tape. Wait,
I
the
got an
tape's
etch a
ruined.
sketch.
Oh, you do. That's just sketch files.
Here's something you can put on in your files.
Oh,
I'm
I
about
see.
to have I'm about to have breakfast right now.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Burnt hash browns with the dog.
Oh my
No.
God.
Don't eat the
Oh,
dog.
Eating the dogs.
What are you,
Hash
Venezuela?
browns.
I knew it. He's very
Oh,
illegal.
animal.
Yeah.
we love the dog.
That might
Baby
be the
Dr.
best.
Valier's got nothing on me.
Put
That might be
away
the best
spoon and
Haitian
back away from the
impression I've
table.
ever seen.
Hey, dog. How you
That'll
doing?
help.
Good to see
Hey.
you. Good morning.
Hey, Shadow.
Hey. All right. Aaron, you're on your Immortal Rising. Is this the second book, right?
Yes, it is.
Just
We
go
made
ahead.
it.
We are the
Look at it.
champions, my friend.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Hey,
Oh,
Aaron, I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah,
You been working out?
I
So
wish.
Hey, hello.
No,
Hey,
actually,
TJ.
little secret. I have not actually had a regular workout in like 2
TJ,
years.
is that your real
So
face?
That sounds
getting
like
vo-
me. You know,
I'm getting vodka tits, so I got to get back on the treadmill. You know what I mean?
I've been doing little push-ups here and
Will you
there.
get on there for me? Because I'm not getting on no treadmill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, TJ again. Hey, TJ.
Hey,
Is
what's
that
up,
a
Shadow.
real?
Jay?
Is that a real face? I don't
I
know.
don't know,
That's
is
a
it?
different icon.
That may be a real face.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a,
yeah,
all
it
I
is.
know,
Just
is
a
I've
glare on
seen
the-
her from here
Yes.
down in chainmail.
Oh, hot.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm all right with that.
cosplay at a festival. Yeah,
Totally
that
okay
is
with
your
that.
face. Wow, TJ, who
see
knew?
your face. It's on 3,725, 74 backers. Let's see if we can get maybe to like 80 backers. That'd be kind of
Whoa,
nice.
that would be
That-
hot.
That's pushing it, but depends how many people run across this show today. So we'll see
Yeah.
how that goes. So what's the second book about?
Okay, so if you read the first one, kind of
Well,
introduces.
assume we didn't. Assume we
yes.
didn't. What was the first book out, and how does it
Yeah.
tell into this one?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, the trailer does a really good job of catching people up.
Okay.
From the first one, and it leads into the second one, kind of teases it a little bit. So you can watch the trailer if you like.
Yeah, Evgeny. This guy's a brilliant
Hey.
artist, by the way. Evgeny
Yes,
Sokolov.
Kenny. Hello,
Yeah,
hello.
Kenny. It's
And
cool.
it looks like he's at the art table right now.
He is busy at the
Yeah,
big
right.
table.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
But so I
folks,
guess a quick breakdown would be, this evil empress. She is commanded by her god to invade a planet where he believes an artifact of his is at. So she goes there, and that sets off a chain of events where our heroes are kind of thrown together unexpectedly, and they have to they don't know each other. They're all strangers. They have to kind of not only deal with the monsters in the world that's invading, but also they kind of have to deal with each other and like learn to work together as a team to overcome the evil that's going on. So that's kind of the main story. But Immortal Rising is really it's two perspectives. So you've got the main story, and then there's a 10-page story called Knights of Locutus that follows the same major plot, only from the view of the gods. So it's kind of like, think of like Clash of the Titans, only you get to see the gods kind of fight. So that's kind of cool. Like in the first one, you see two of the gods in hell fighting a demon, which is pretty badass. And then that's when they get word that this evil empire has invaded, and they're like, well, what the hell's going on? You know, and like there's this big power surge that teleports a bunch of people to this planet and all this. So all hell's breaking loose on this poor planet of Terra, and that's really the main setting of Immortal Rising. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
Light
backstory and
reading,
stuff like that.
folks,
So.
light reading.
Yeah.
How
No, the
light
plot
reading
is thick. I'll give it that. Because
Yeah.
the whole idea was I wanted to take a fantasy, not as like a full fantasy novel, but I wanted to feel like a fantasy novel. So you're put into the middle of a lot of backstory,
Right.
as well as a lot of growth potential. Because all this stuff I already know where it's going to go, where it's going to end up. Because this is all based on a tabletop game that I've been playing for a few decades now with my friends, and I turned it into a comic book. So and it's really
since you're
cool.
not on a monthly basis, how do you kind of deal with that with the endings on these stories? I mean, you don't have to tell me the ending. I'm just kind of wondering how you kind of
No, don't do that.
structure it around, to
Well, like the first one, I ended it on a cliffhanger, which I'm not going to say what happened, but just say not everybody survives. Okay, you never know. Like for instance, I was asking Grok on Twitter. I was like, "Hey Grok, why don't you sum up Immortal Rising for me?" And it used the term survival horror. I was like, That's great. I love that terminology. So yeah, it's like epic fantasy meets survival horror.
Oh, cool.
So, and it's not that it's gross or anything, but yeah, these guys, it's just like if you've ever played D&D, you know, really you're a group of strangers who, you know, they have to learn to survive together to get through like a dungeon or something like that. So, you know, it has very much those vibes. In fact, some of the shows I do are tabletop shows, and I've had, you know, buyers on that show, and they'll be like, after he read it, he's like, man, it feels like the beginning of a great, you know, campaign, you know, a D&D campaign. It's like, thank you. That's exactly what it is.
Is this ending on a cliffhanger, on a similar note?
All right. So the story is written in 3 parts. So the first arc is in 3 parts. This is the middle act, I guess you could say. And the main story is kind of, or the main theme of the group is that they have to learn to be a team, you know, get past their bullshit. Cause like, you know, you've got people from different classes in society, different races, that whole thing. And they're all, you know, the melting pot of all these different people, you know.
Plus
and
it
then
reveals to the reader the different personalities and how they interact, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually a major part of the second act is, not to spoil it, but some shit goes down at the beginning of the book. And then at the end of the book, they have to kind of reconcile what, you know, the mistakes that were made. And yeah, there's some arguing that goes on, and they really have to get over some shit just to get on to the third act. So pretty cool.
Well, some do if they don't die first.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Some may not make it.
Oh, sure. You're the writer. It's easy for you to write characters on.
And I don't mind killing, like George Martin. I don't mind killing my characters. It's okay.
You bastard.
You bastard. So, but I've had great reviews. Some of the stuff that I liked hearing most about the reviews was like how well they enjoyed the characters, and they wanted to spend more time with each one. Like somebody's like, oh, I really like this guy, or somebody else over here is, I really thought the elves part was really cool and stuff like that. So yeah, you'll get more of that in number 2.
Yeah. Now I guess did you take sort of some of the review, you know, what was said about what they liked, disliked into account with this book?
No, I did not.
No. Okay.
And I'll explain why. Is because I had the first and second issue done a while ago, and then so it's kind of a long story. I'll try to make it quick. I had the first issue done by a different artist, an amateur artist, and while I was waiting for him to finish, I wanted to pop to the shop. Oh, okay. So anyways, so I had to kind of I wanted to keep momentum going on the story. So I was like, dang, maybe I'll do like a small side story, which is how the Knights of Locutus came about. And that's when I met Jose, and Jose did the Knights of Locutus story for me. And he was like, oh, this is great. And so I went to go sell the book. And actually, no, so I had him do issue 2 because the first artist kind of fell off and all this stuff. And so I had all this art, but that first issue was nothing like Jose's work. So I'm like, Jose, will you just go back over and redo it? And he's like, yeah, of course. So he did it. Well, his style has improved. Like his coloring is even better than it's ever been, and stuff like that. And so we sold the first one. Everything went well. And when I was getting ready to come back to the second issue, you know, he was like, hey, if you're gonna be selling that one, give it to me and let me spruce up all the art, because, you know, he's like, my technique has gotten better. I've gotten better as an artist. I was like, yes, definitely, please do that. So he went back, recolored it, redrew some stuff, and yeah, and then I didn't get to the second campaign as fast as I wanted to, mainly because I was learning Photoshop, so that I could go in and make corrections and change, you know, dialogue balloons, and so I could free up the art a little bit more. So it's just small stuff like that. And not only that, but like make my own graphics and ads, and like, for instance, this whole campaign page, you know, I was able to do that because I, you know, Chris Fisk of Infinitail Chronicles, he's the one that taught me Photoshop. Kind of held my hand through it.
All a learning curve, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it really is. So, but now I have it all done. It's ready to go. Maybe this or that last minute kind of edits will remain, and then whatever the printer says they need changed. But yeah, she's good to go. So, but I did listen for the third one. I was listening to all the feedback from the first campaign and kind of listening to what people wanted to see, what they liked, and that's actually why I had Corey Barton do his beautiful Blue Woman cover for me, which is the
cool.
Evil Empress.
Oh yeah,
because
I've seen that. It's very nice.
Everybody loved her in the first campaign, so they hadn't even read the book yet, and they just liked her from the trailers and stuff like that. So
yeah, just the visuals, has very Eastern Indian type, Kali or type character or something.
Cool, nice. I like it. Yeah. Some people are like, what do they say? Yeah, I've got this green and blue girl fetish from original Star Trek. I was like, yeah, me too.
Right. Well, yeah. Very, very alluring.
Yes, Captain Kirk's old girlfriends. Yes, there you
go. Yeah, right.
I would take some of those, even on the remake.
I don't mind. The green paint don't come off, not in fantasy.
Right. It's real life.
In one of it might have been Voyager. I can't remember which one. It might have been Enterprise, actually. One of the later shows. But Lou Ferrigno played a male member of that race. He was really? It turns out that the women give off this pheromone. I think that was in the original story with the green slave girls, right?
Orion girls.
Or maybe they didn't explain them. Maybe it's metachlorines. I don't know.
So he was painted green.
Maybe some little bit of headcanon.
Yeah. It seems like that they're the slave masters, but they're not. They're actually the men are sort of dominated by the women because they, because of the pheromones and stuff. They
right.
the men.
I know I know the feeling. I get it.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, let's play.
So So to answer your question though, I did lean into some of the stuff for the third one. Like originally, I wasn't going to have the Empress be much more into the story, but everybody loved her so much. I was like, let me put her into. Hey, what's up, Fanta? I was like, let me put her as a main villain in the third Knights of Locutus story. So you will be seeing her again.
Cool.
I think you've got to respond to stuff like that, unless it's just set in stone already. It's like, right. You'd be crazy not to, because that's what people are really wanting to buy and more of.
Yep. Not only that, but also in the third one, I have dragons, so you will be seeing dragons in the third one as well.
There you go. That's what the world needs more of, dragons.
Yeah, dragons and hot girls, hot blue girls.
Absolutely. Except maybe some hot men for the women.
Yeah, sure.
I think women are looking for a very testosterone John Wayne type again. Or whatever.
That's good.
They want a man to be a man.
I guess somebody that
equivocates and is somewhere in the middle class.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at society and pop culture, masculinity is kind of frowned upon in this establishment. So and you don't have to be over machismo. You just be masculine. Just being masculine comes off as machismo anymore, like John Wayne with his swagger.
Yeah. I've not had anybody really dress me down for opening the door for them.
Right.
If they do, that's their problem, not mine.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you know what? I'll give you the chance to hold the door for me next time. How about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's like in the past, women go, I want a man who's sensitive to my feelings. Look how that turned out. Soy boys. And women go, I want a real man. By the time we get back to it again there, ladies and gentlemen, why not?
Yeah.
Let's play this wonderful trailer that you have there. And
Yeah,
Check it out.
by Good Stuff. Good Stuff Studios did
Oh,
it.
Good
Oh,
stuff. All
right.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be
he's
great.
getting ready to launch his cookbook
Yeah.
October
yeah,
2nd.
October 2nd.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll be on our show. I do a Friday night show with Jason Sandberg and Craig from Soltech, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure Good Stuff we're going to have Good Stuff on for the recipe book.
Yeah, I had
in
Jason
October.
on not too long ago. He's, great interview. I'm going to have him
Yeah.
back on and talk about
I
his book, Jupiter.
Yeah, I really like working with them. Both of those guys, they're great to co-host with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, sorry, I keep
you,
interrupting.
you can't pay enough money for a good co-host.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
That's why you get me for free.
Roll that bean footage.
Yes. Rock and
Yep.
roll.
Have a nice day.
Oh,
You're going to play the trailer?
Yeah, roll that bean.
oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're waiting on you, Apex.
I mean, it's
That's on me.
Locutus,
Oh,
my
oh.
creator, from your chaotic boom.
Can you hear it? Sorry.
yeah. You expand the
Now
screen.
your colorist did what was it? Docs. What was it? What was his own book?
Luminavox.
Yeah, Lumina Vox. Yeah.
Yeah.
His coloring is so distinctive. You just can tell.
And it's gotten even better for this one. So, all right,
Yeah.
I'll stop screwing around. Here we go.
Good.
All right. You're
I'll
ready.
find you, Locutus,
Expand your screen.
my creator. From your chaotic bones, I shall make my order.
Now, who's doing the voicing, Aaron?
That's all Good Stuff. Him and his
Is it?
family.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations, recruits.
I'm so excited.
I don't want to babysit two spoiled princes.
I need to make a good impression for the soldiers. This is a silly waste of time.
What? Is that my long-lost magic ruby? Empress, find my ruby.
Your will is my command, my master. We're invading Terra to find Balmain's ruby.
Go forth, save the innocent, and punish the wicked.
Yes, Father. I have an easy life. But is that all there is?
The ruby could win this war once and for all. Let's kick the nest and see what falls out.
Loki just calls to his creations for help.
Where are we?
What are those things? We have to get out of here.
Have the gods gone mad?
The Bomanites have invaded Terra. Has the last shard of Loki's heart been found?
The war cannot continue without the heart. We can't risk losing it if it's there.
You've come to the wrong place. Terra is under my protection.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, have you worked with Corey Barton before?
This is my first time working with him. I guess with that cover, yeah. And I'll most likely have him come back and maybe have him draw her again because he was like, "Man, that was one of my favorite commissions last year." So, yeah,
Oh, cool.
I was like, "Perfect."
Everybody
That's
loves a
great.
challenge if they're any good, right?
Well, and so Corey did the blue girl, and then Jimmy Reyes did the ogre.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And I had a role play game artist who he's kind of known in that kind of that market. He did all the coloring for it. So Jimmy did the pencils and inks.
That's sweet. Oh, yeah.
So on this one, what I'm offering is I guess the main books are the premiums. Those are the 80-pound glossy finish, perfect bound. That's got all the bells and whistles on it, and those individually are 20. But if you buy the bundle, which is the featured, they're 35. So or together it's 35. So a couple bucks off if you buy them together. It helps,
and what's the page count?
So the page count for the story is like 44 pages, and then you got to do it in counts of 4. So like overall with covers, it's like 52, but on the inside it's 50, that kind of thing. So it's roughly 50. I put it down as 50 pages because I don't know. It's roughly 50. I don't know.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And then what I did on this one is I wanted to try out floppies. So if I wanted to see who would be interested in the story, but maybe they didn't want to spend the 20 or 30, $40 on getting the premiums. But also I kind of want to use this opportunity to maybe print out floppies and put them in stores and put them, sell them at markets and stuff like that. So I'm including it on this as well to see how well people receive it. And so I've got The Calling Part 1 and Part 2, which is the first book broken in two. It won't have the extra art, it won't have like character design art like the premiums will.
Yeah.
So I just kind of smashed those into that. And the pages are going to be 70 pound, and I don't think they'll be glossy. I can't remember.
That's cool.
That's cool.
And they'll be saddle stitch. And then I did the same with the second one. Now all of these covers, that's all Jose Garcia stuff. Those are all him.
Great.
Yep. And then I'm also, so me and Jose have worked together now for a few years. Like I was telling you, it's kind of a long story. But during the development of Immortal Rising, we did a couple of short stories. One was the Tower Time Forgot, and that was for Arrow Comics did Out of Obscurity, where a bunch of us no names kind of got together and made an anthology. I was able to get a story into it last minute, and that's the Tower Time Forgot, which is basically the story. It has nothing to do with Immortal Rising. It's a story about kind of like the last two humans on Earth in a dystopian future where a nanotech biovirus or whatever, nanotech virus, there we go, has pretty much taken over the world and mostly killed out humans. And unfortunately, his girlfriend gets sick with the virus, and so he takes her, and they try to find the original laboratory where the scientists developed the virus. And things don't exactly go very easy for them. And that's the Tower Time Forgot. It's all black and white, gorgeous art. I've got some of it towards the bottom of the campaign page.
I forget, where is Jose from? Where is he?
He lives in Mexico City, last I knew.
Okay, Mexico City.
Okay.
That's right.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then
he just very impressive, with his resume and his work ethic, and just a nice guy.
It's unmatched that I've found. It's one of the reasons why.
If you can get somebody, I need 60 pages. That's a commitment. Even if the money's good, you got to have a professional that'll say, okay, 60. And they'll get it done for you.
Does the first issue on top of that.
And be reliable and not take a year and a half to do it,
Right. Or longer.
Longer. Right.
So, and then another story we did together. So the Tower Time Forgot is, I think, like 6 or 7 pages. And then Immortal Rising Tales is it's in Immortal Rising universe, but it's not a part of the main story at all. So this one we did for Anvil Magazine #2. So if you guys have that magazine, you've got it in the big magazine format, and it looks gorgeous. But on this one, I'll be doing it in Ashcan, so you still get to read the story, still get to see the gorgeous art. And I also I had Jose do this amazing cover. So and I'm thinking about continuing to do Immortal Rising Tales as like just short stories in universe, so people can kind of see some of the backstory on some of the
Aaron,
references.
what did your first campaign wind up doing roughly?
Initial campaign on Indiegogo was, I want to say $5,000, just maybe a little over $5,000, something like that.
Yeah.
Which was great. It was more than I asked for. So that went real well. And then I went to Fund My Comic to sell like the extra stuff as a storefront.
See you, Bone.
And that picked me up an additional like 2,100, 2,200, something like that. So, and a lot of that comes from EVS. I'm pretty sure it was EVS, giving me a shout out because of, me kind of clashing with Eric July back around the beginning of the year. So, yeah. So, I got people came in and just started buying up all my copies, which I was like, oh shit, do I have enough? So
you can't overprint enough, unless you're just
I shot through all my extras. I was like, well, there goes my storefront.
Now, were you doing any conventions with the first one?
I have not yet. That is actually another reason why I'm doing these floppies, so that people can just pass by. They see all this beautiful art,
and you're out of books.
What's that?
And you're out of books.
Well, I mean, for now, yes.
I can always print more.
Actually, you can always print some of these Tales of Immortal Rising maybe into floppies. I mean, like an idea.
In time, because this is like, I don't know, 7-8 pages. So I could do something like that, and I'm not against that. I'm just trying to find a good way to really market it, and start getting my name out there. So I think a lot of these floppies I'll probably using
size,
be a little bite size. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and people like they like the smaller stuff too. And for me, it's more affordable to print out.
You were talking about, you got positive feedback. Can you tell us about oh, I really love the colors, or I love this. I mean, what was some of the feedback you got?
Yeah. So some of the best stuff that I heard was one, about the writing was like, there's something for everybody in the story. So, you've got like a magical fantasy setting. You've got like these powerful gods, like they compared them to Warhammer Primarchs. Then what else? You've got an invading ultra high tech evil empire. So you got the aliens invading. So there's a lot going on in the setting, and so I liked hearing that. That was really positive. As well as just like the individual characters, like I was saying earlier, where they were like, man, I want to see more, of the cleric because of, he's a badass or something. So stuff like that was cool. And then about the art, everybody loves the colors. That's usually one of the first things they say about the art is the coloring. Another one is that, reading through the book is like, you forget that you're reading a book. It's more like you're watching a Netflix anime, because the composition and the flow and the look of it all, with his animation background, it feels like you're reading a cartoon movie, so
like a cinematic graphics.
Yeah. Because his visual storytelling,
one of my favorite things was seeing everybody get their book and their other tchotchkes, stretch goals, and things like that, and then display them out or do videos and show, look, I got my Immortal Rising in and all this other,
dude, I love it. Oh, and so there was this one guy, I think his YouTube name is Wrangler. He did a full recap, like he flipped through the story and everything, and like was kind of making fun of different parts, and also just you could tell that he enjoyed the story and was he was lighthearted about it, it was like kind of having fun with the story. I sent that clip. It's probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes long too. Like he goes through the whole book. Yeah, he goes through the whole thing, with edits and everything. And I was sharing the link around and everything with people who aren't on YouTube and aren't a part of the indie scene. And they were just like, "This is great! It's so fun to see somebody enjoy the story enough and put that much time and effort into, just like enjoying it." I was flattered and surprised. I was like, "Dang, that's so cool!"
Distill it down to a word or two. What would you say your book is?
What would I say? What's up? These guys. Sorry, my son.
That's fine.
These guys. I was just on a different guy.
Goblins happens again.
It's the goblins talking.
Goblin.
Not right now. Wait till I'm done, okay? All right, sorry about that. I'm sorry. What was your question?
You know, if you in a word or two, how would you describe what you're doing?
In a word or two, huh? That's a tough one.
See, I've been selling mine as epic. You know, one word,
right?
epic. If you like
Yeah.
epic, then you'll like Devil Flyer. You know, and
Yeah.
you seem to have a more epic feel to it.
It is. Yes, it's very epic. I'm not sure in a word or two. I want to say grandiose, but that doesn't sound very good.
Well, I
No,
mean, it does sound grandiose when you talk about high tech aliens and all this going in. It's
oh yeah.
yeah.
It's like
So
a
yeah,
cinematic space opera.
Damn, I like it. Well, and really, it's more like you know what? Maybe you guys should come write for me. How about that? You can do all
we're
my
just
editing.
brainstorming. Feel free to
I like it.
Use some of it.
Well, it's kind of like you got like the dark, the dark fantasy of say Castlevania, and the epic fantasy of Lord of the Rings or Final Fantasy. Like the two of them together probably is really close to what Immortal Rising is. So
nice.
Yev says, still here inking and listening. I love to hear the passion for the project in the creator's voice. Aaron really has it 100%.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Evgeny. Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, this all started off, as just kind of like a passion project for kind of like me and my buddies, friends and family kind of thing. And after I met Jose and, was like, well, geez, with this kind of skill, and not only that, but I'm having all this fun. It's like, why not see who else wants to read the story and see the art? Because
are you trying to, like with Jose, are you leveling up on him? I mean, after you've seen his capabilities?
Yes.
Are you doing more challenging things with him?
Well, that's actually one of the joys of working with him is like, when I first started off, I had not written a comic book script. Like I've written other things over my time, over my life. I've like, I've written, I don't know, man, from when I was like in second grade, it was probably my first story that I won like a state award or whatever. And I've been dabbling in writing ever since, essays and I think I was doing political blog there for a while with a buddy, all kinds of stuff, songs, but even short stories, novel, not a full length novel, but I think you get the idea. And so with the comic book, I was like, I don't know. There's a lot to learn because comic book writing is its own art form, and there's a lot to adjust to. And working with someone like Jose with all of his visual experience, visual storytelling experience, it has taught me a lot. And working with him over these different projects, originally when I'd write a script, I'd go into detail. Oh, and I would try to give him like direction, like angle and all. It's like such a waste of time because he already knows way better than I do. So I stopped doing that right away. And now I mostly lean into, what's the emotion? Well, first of all, what do I want to have happen on the page?
Right.
What do I want to have happen in each panel? The emotions of the characters and who's in the panels and things like that. And he chooses all of the other stuff, like like the angles, the colors, all of that stuff. That's all. I trust in my artist. I let him do it, let him do his thing. So yeah, and not only that, but I've cleared it down, I've cleaned it up. I've gotten to the point now that I've written enough comic book scripts to where I'm much more efficient on getting the point across, kind of thing. And now looking at these sketches for the third book, which I have the initial sketches, it's kind of funny because my old scripts would be like, oh, here's a 6-panel page or something like that. And now it's just like, I've got it down to a rhythm of 4. I'll write 4 panels and then he can add a 5th panel or a 6th panel if he feels he needs to. Right. Sometimes he might even take the 4th panel out because he can make it all one big panel, so, which is really cool. I love seeing him do that kind of stuff.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think you have to trust in the artist to, convey it, and for clarity's sake,
Yep. Yeah.
So what company do you
Scroll down.
print your books from?
All right. So I have a local printer that I guess they're a broker, which I didn't realize at first, which is fine. But I was using a local guy for my last campaign. I'll probably do that again unless I can find a better deal. And that's mainly because like it's here local. I drive by it on my way to work and stuff like that. So I can stop in, take there's the books, in a box, and I can take a picture and share it. And, I go through the quality check with the people, that kind of stuff. That is really nice. On my first campaign, it was very reassuring for me. So
cool.
And if you were pleased with the quality, I don't see why not.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there any part of it you had to farm out? Because like my local printer that I'm working for is only going to be able to do certain items for me. They're just not equipped to do like die cut stuff and
so I went so if you backed the first campaign, I threw out like 8 chibi stickers. There's a bunch of stickers and even logo magnets, and so that was all through Sticker Mule.
Oh,
so
cool.
that because the printer they don't do that die cut stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's some art. I keep forgetting, like, I'm not used to having to scroll through myself, so it's fine. I'm just a little lazy on it. But look at this. I mean,
yeah.
Impressive.
When did you launch, Aaron?
What was it? September 16th. I launched on Bancroft channel.
Okay.
And immediate, amazing first night. I think it was the first 12 hours I had $1,200. So,
Great.
I mean, we were just up and running immediately.
Very cool. 24 pages.
Yeah, those will be the floppies. Yeah.
Floppies, yeah, that's about right. So you get the premium Immortals bundled. So you get 2 glossy.
Hey, Billy.
And 2 of the glossies.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the 2 big boys right here.
Now, Aaron, will you be adding anything to the campaign or changing it in any way?
The only thing that I'm really adding is
Paramax Hail.
At $3,500 that unlocked the stretch goal for is a chibi sticker of the blue girl, the princess. And then at $4,000 that will unlock the chibi sticker of the ogre. So and I don't know if we can get more than that. There's another sticker in there to unlock. So look at that.
I love the stickers.
So in the second one, in the first one, how they say man versus beast or man versus environment, man versus man. The first one was very much like a man versus environment, right? Everybody's kind of thrown into all hell breaks loose, and so really it was man versus environment. And so in the second one, it's more of like I'm introducing the bad guy for the third one. So this will kind of ramp up as we get to the third act of the story. You'll be seeing potentially more of at least one of these 2 guys, maybe both, in the finale. I'm selling shirts on this one, which is the first time for me. My first campaign, I tried trading cards and posters and stuff, which did okay. But most of the people that bought those got it in the everything box. So, which was cool. I loved it. I was like, great, dude. Like there was a bunch of, trading cards that I had from different artists, like my character design artist, Steve Whitehead. He had done all of these character design work for me. And I was like, well, I got to use it. So I put them all onto trading cards and gave them to people. So in this one, instead of cards and posters, I'm going to try these beautiful shirts. So we've got the Corey Barton cover. And then the other shirt is actually a panel from Knights of Locutus of one of the gods, the god of battle. he's just like standing there posing with his sword and looking badass. So
Nice.
I was like, let's put that on a shirt.
There you go.
Yeah, raw. So fun.
Then you can wear your own merch.
Yes.
Yeah, we're to conventions, we're to the movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Your YouTube show. You know?
Yes, I will be.
Free advertising.
Well, and I have actually years ago when I first started, I was like, well, you know, I was trying to learn what am I going to do. I tried different. I tried making shirts, and I have a couple of shirts with just my logo on it, but they're kind of old and faded now. I don't really wear them as much. But
who's doing your lettering on this?
So originally, it was Jose did all the lettering, and then since I went back over it. He gave me the font style, and I'm kind of going back and doing a bunch of the lettering myself, just because some of the dialogue I was like, that's too choppy. Let's smooth it over, and that's what I did, and it reads a lot better now too.
Yeah,
so like, you know, I've become a
lot of
better.
things.
Yeah, I've become a better comic book writer, in my opinion. So, you know, just getting better by doing. You know,
did you write in school, or I mean, you know, why take on, you know, something as monumental as a comic? Because a lot of people are like, yeah, I'll do a comic, and then they find out, wow, okay, penciling,
that's work. Like, yes,
writing, lettering.
Look,
printing,
I wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. No, I'm just kidding. No, because I'm a fool. You know, I don't. I really have a passion. I want to share this world with people. Not only that, but as I started getting into it, you know, I've always wanted to have like a side business kind of deal, and I had looked into different things, you know, drop shipping or selling products and Amazon, whatever it is. And it's one of the things is you have to have a passion for what you're selling. It really helps. And this is, you know, I get to create art, you know, with Jose, and it's gorgeous and it's fun and it's interesting and it's, you know, and other people can share in these.
Did this come about because of gaming in your own personal experience?
Yeah. It was basically, I'm sitting down, I'm writing down notes. I was like, we got to make a timeline, right? So I'm making out this timeline, and I'm talking with the other guys at the table, and as I'm figuring out the events of the timeline, those events slowly turned into scenes. Like I have characters talking to each other. And I'm like, okay, well, clearly I have to write this out. Some way I have to tell this story, if for anybody, just for myself and my friends, right? And I was like, well, I could try writing a novel, you know, but you know, I don't know. I don't want to really try to learn to get better at prose and then write a novel that nobody wants to read, right? So instead, I was like, one of the things that immediately got me into fantasy genre in general from being a little kid is all of the amazing art, you know. I mean, I could go on Clyde Caldwell, you know, Ed Greenwood, Frank Frazetta, you know, a lot of the classic guys. And then also with D&D, that's one of the things that grabs you in D&D is flipping through the books just to look at the art, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to do a novel. I'm going to try doing it as a comic book. So then we can all see our characters and the environments that we've been in for so long, like actual, you know, made manifest, right? So, and once it happened, I just got addicted. Once it started, I got addicted. And now I'm like, you know, why should I do a drop shipping business when I can sell my story and and actually get it out there and share it with all these other people that could be super into it, you know?
Now you mentioned dragons for issue 3. How far along is issue 3?
So issue 3 is already started. All of the initial sketches are finished and have been for, I guess, maybe a couple weeks. I haven't had time to really go through all of it. I went through real quick and I was like, well, we could change that and maybe that too, that kind of stuff, but pretty well done. And as fast as Jose is, as soon as I give him like, okay, here's this payment, bang, it's done like a week later. So
getting back to the Dungeon getting back to the Dungeons and Dragons, seems like each campaign night could be a whole separate episode, a whole separate issue. You gotta have lots of material going into it.
Oh yeah, there is a lot going on, so that's definitely true. And I kind of like that with the different perspectives, and that was another compliment that people had. They said it was very original idea to tell a story with two different perspectives. Like you've got the first. Think of the role playing role playing game. You've got the first level characters, and then you've got the god level characters.
One of the most impressive comics I ever read was a Moon Knight Hulk, and it told the story from Moon Knight perspective, and he winds up meeting the Hulk at the end, and then it tells it from the Hulk's perspective, and they wind up meeting at the end, and then the story picks up from there and goes on and concludes. But just seeing it from two different perspectives with still sort of Neil Adams type Bill Sienkiewicz artwork, it was it's still mind-blowing to me.
I find it fun. When I was waiting on the original one, which actually I'm selling that as well. It's limited. I printed out 100 of them. I've sold, I think, about 20, just over 20. And so there's only about 80 of them left. And you can see.
I love your optimism.
What's that?
I love your optimism.
Left, but they're selling, guys. They're selling. Yeah,
they are selling.
But, I keep saying this, and you probably heard me say this before, Aaron. Even Cyberfrog is very limited. It's at like old school cancellation numbers.
Right?
It's not even approaching that. 60,000, and Marvel used to nuke a title, and now it's like Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, which was selling, $250,000 at one time, is now down to like 60. Batman selling about like that, probably. And it's sad state of affairs.
They shot themselves in the foot. Like, let's be real. They had the MCU in the theaters. They had all this hype. People, kids are buying the toys. They were dressing up for Halloween.
Aaron, they got 85 years to draw on. And you go to the comic shop, and they're doing full covers, and they're doing facsimile issues.
That's
to sell
crazy.
The books. And the facsimiles are selling better than the new stuff.
Of course.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Because you have great artists and great storytelling in the past.
Yeah, I bought it. Somebody got mad at me because I bought them, a couple of them. It was like some classic issues. I think one was like where the Batman breaks his back, or Bane breaks Batman. Another one, I don't know. There's a couple of them, just classic issues that they reprinted for $1. And I was like, well, shit, let me grab 5 of them, and then the comic book buddy of mine's like, that's what's ruining the market. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm just a lowly consumer.
Take it to the bank, because the facsimiles, some of those are actually, even the dollar ones are actually doing pretty good in the aftermarket.
Well, and it was just like, I just wanted to see the original story, like I'm not trying to make $1 off of it. I'm just trying to read the story and share it with my kids.
Reprints are a great, cheaper way to get key issues.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
And to read the story for the very first time.
Yeah. Yeah. But so with the original Immortal, I'm offering that at a higher price because it is going to be it's a rarity. I'll never print those out again. And actually, I want to share this. So when I first had it done, some guys at work heard about me doing it, and they paid for a CGC version of, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them, and they gave me one. Wow. And they CGC'd it and gave me one. So it was so badass. It's so fun.
And who signed it? Because that's a signature.
That's actually, so that's my buddy. He's a mural artist. He did my dungeon background.
Okay.
He did the cover for me because I lost track of my original artist. He was having a hard time, and I just stopped hearing back from him. And so I was like, dude, I need a cover. And he's like, well, I'm an artist. I've never done a comic book. So he was like, I'll do it, and so that's why it looks like a mural, is because he is in fact a mural artist. And
welcome to the
did it
Rex,
for me.
HEX, and Apex show where the host kicks himself. What the hell?
Is he out?
Something Apex, yeah.
That's hilarious.
His
It
finger slipped. He hit the wrong button.
Mhm.
There we go. There's the ash cans. You
Now,
did,
now the two,
nice breakdown.
the tower book seems to be black and white and grayscale.
Yes, yeah, it's all black and white, and it really helps with the tone of it because it's like a suspenseful story,
right? A little darker, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, very dark, and maybe there's a happy ending at the end. I'm not gonna.
Now, are
give it
your
away.
own children old enough to read what you produce, or
yeah?
And what is the age for these books? Would you?
So, I would say Immortal Rising is like teen, say 13 up.
Okay.
There's a little bit of graphic violence. There's some blood. I don't cuss in the story. Like nobody cusses, and other than the cheesecake Corey Barton's cover, I also don't sexualize in the story
there's
as well.
no aliens saying Shazbot nanu nanu.
There might be.
If you're gonna curse, you gotta curse an alien, right?
In a different language. I like Shazbot.
Puto. I don't know.
Yeah. No. But and then with the material and stuff like that, like if you're into fantasy novels like Dragonlance, Forgotten Realms, Lord of the Rings, that kind of stuff, this will be right up your alley, as they say. So
now, do you have a website, or do you where can people find
I don't have a website of my own yet, but if you go to immortalrisingcomics.com, it takes you to my storefront on Fund My Comic, where you can still purchase the digital version. And so as long as I'm going to be on Fund My Comic, I'm not sure, because there's no cost to have a storefront there. So
exactly.
I may keep a storefront there. I would really like to just do my own website. Like last night we had Michael Bancroft on the Friday nights, and we were looking at he has his own website that he uses. What was it?
Right.
Starts with an S. The service he uses, I can't remember. Shopify. He uses Shopify, but that stuff is not cheap, from what I remember.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I had to change batteries on my mouse, and then somehow I kicked myself out.
Well, welcome
I
back.
think it's about $60 a month, even if you don't.
Mouse scribbling.
Yeah.
I mean, Adobe is expensive enough like that, so I can't really justify more than that. So,
me too.
And I mean, really, what I'm looking forward to is I like doing the YouTube stuff and selling online on Twitter and things like that. All that's great, but I'm really looking forward to going to conventions and putting the floppies in stores. Got gaming stores, comic book stores, just really nerd hangouts.
I've sold
anime
stores,
coffee shops.
I've
shops.
I've sold on eBay for about 20 years. So, I plan on doing something like that.
Oh, right.
My overages, just like Ethan does. It's just a no brainer because I'm familiar with eBay, so much. So, the pitfalls and the good aspects of it. And then, there always are people doing searches for comics. Oh, Devil Flyer, I've never heard that. Immortal Rising, I've never heard of.
Yes.
Yeah.
They might want to try it,
We dispensary been saying it for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Why not? Just relax with your favorite herb and read a comic. That's all good.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I think that going to eBay is not a bad idea either. So because and not to disparage Fund My Comic at all, but I've had a couple of people, or I've had at least one person say that they don't want to buy from there. And then I've heard a couple of feedback where it's like they've had problems with the payment provider. So, not like a lot, but it's happened a couple times, and it's just kind of like, with
every service, like I don't want to go to Fund My
you're gonna
Comic
have a
because
problem.
they use Stripe. Yeah, you're gonna have that one or two individuals, whatever, that I don't really want to go there, and like Iron Shadowhawk, we don't go to Kickstarter because we don't like how they take the money out like months later, and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Although there's some awesome, I had to grit my teeth at some of the awesome books that they actually offer in campaigns there
on Kickstarter. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's, but I can't go there. It's all I can do like Fund My Comic or
I've considered taking this Corey Barton cover to Kickstarter because I hear that boobs sell real well over there. So I'm like,
good idea. Might as well give it a try.
Now, how many boobs does she have? Because I know they have multi-breasted.
Two very big ones. Two.
Okay. Very big ones. All right. Well, there are multi-breasted deities out there.
There are.
I like it. I want to in on that religion. Can I hear about more of that? I guess going through the perks though, just real quick. I am basically selling these almost at cost. So because really, I'm just looking for people who are interested in the story. Jump on. Anyway, so one of the least inexpensive is the Immortal Rising #1 floppy. It's both part 1 and part 2 for $10. So doesn't get much better than that. It's $5 floppies, right? And then that's if I'm interested, but shipping's a lot or whatever. Maybe they don't want it. They just don't want to spend that much.
And
so
what is the campaign up to now, Aaron? So far?
What is it? 37.25.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Getting ready to break 4,000 here.
Very nice.
Man, I would love to get to 4. I would feel really good with that. So, and then I also got Immortal Rising 2. It's floppy. Those are again $10, $5 floppies. And then the premiums at 20. So if you're like, oh, I like that cover, but maybe you don't want to get #2 for some reason. So, or you don't want the Corey Barton cover for some other reason because you've already got the original. We got the premium.
Now, Aaron, are you going to go to any other platforms with this?
I'm well, like I was saying, I was kind of thinking of Kickstarter, but again, I don't know if I really want to. I may just do it because, like, for me, all of this is learning. This has been a very long college course in 1, small business, and then 2, graphic design and selling and, just all of the things that come along with, like you were saying, with doing your own comic book. It's just, I like to take baby steps,
exactly. Yeah.
In the end, when I start, walking and running, you guys will notice.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot of balls up there and you're juggling,
yeah, exactly.
But it sounds like you're ahead of the game if you're already
like those clicking balls at your psychiatrist's office. So click.
Yeah.
Click. And then so I got the floppy bundle. So if you like the idea of all the floppies, which looks like 4 people liked it.
Hey,
so,
Homer. I have to stop and say on the next Hex and Apex show, we're having Mr. Good Stuff, and he's going to be talking about his cookbook, which is launching October 2nd.
That'll be cool.
And that will be next month on the 12th on my channel.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be hosting.
That'd be great.
Very cool.
So we'll have a good
the big dog perk is the Everything Immortal box. That's got everything. That's got the 2 beautiful premiums, all 4 floppies, the 2 ash cans, and 1 shirt. So
all that for $100. That's great. Wow,
for $100. Yes, sir. So
I have my own blue.
Pretty much how much it costs.
Yeah, let's see that. Hold on. Show that.
I have my own blue goddess.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I like it. So I do want to tell whoever is watching this and you're interested in buying a shirt. It's my first time dealing with shirts on Indiegogo, and I was like, oh, we should have, let's see, an either or, right? And apparently I screwed that up. So whoever is buying the shirt or the everything box, I'll contact you or you contact me and let me know which one you wanted, because apparently I didn't do something right, and you have to select a size for both shirts, and it's like, no, you're getting 1 shirt. So I'll be I'll be either sending out emails, or you can contact me on Twitter, or through my email, immortalrisingcomics@gmail. So yeah, we'll figure it out.
What if they want to buy 2? Can they do it as an add-on?
Yes, there is an add-on. There's the only add-ons that I offer is an additional shirt, or the original Immortal version. So
okay,
pretty streamlined campaign. Not a lot of things to kind of bog it down.
That's
with
kind
choices.
of what I did with mine. It's like, here's the books.
Yeah.
And then, I will do offsite like Shopify or somewhere else, like the t-shirts and the, and then, the tchotchkes, of course, the stretch goals.
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
bonus.
So I think it should be more about the books, except for the stretch goals, to kind of push the books.
Sure. Yeah. And I guess, so all of this is just kind of like me getting up momentum to and position myself to have enough merchandise to go to conventions and feel justified in in paying the price for the table and sitting there for a whole day or two trying to sell stuff. It's like, well, here's all this merchandise, have at it, guys. And that's really what this campaign will help me do. Hopefully will help me print off enough extra copies that I can finally go to conventions and sell them.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Have you been to any conventions in the past?
Not to sell, but yeah, I've been to conventions before. We have a few here local, and what's cool is I work with a guy who's like best friends with the dude that puts on conventions in like the 3 states around me. So he's like, oh, here's his email, and I'll talk to him, and he shared my project with the guy. So although he may not know me by name, he'll be like, oh yeah, sure. And he's a pretty cool dude. He did something. He organized a convention, and had my buddy work as a gopher for Sergeant Slaughter. Because Sergeant Slaughter was a guest at the convention, and he's like, he had pictures with him and all this stuff. He's like, oh, he's like the sweetest guy ever. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
I want to do that way to learn,
Yeah.
Is that the guy from Terrificon, or is it somebody else?
I don't know.
Oh, okay,
probably somebody else.
Right.
Yeah, he does comic conventions, and he also does the car shows. He does car shows around here too.
What do you think the main thing is you learned from doing the first book?
The main thing, I guess, learning how to organize and complete a project was probably the main thing that I learned from all of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like getting a PhD or a degree. It's like they don't really want to know, it's good that they kind of get an inkling of what but I think the degree, any kind of degree, shows people that you can start something and complete it.
Yep. Yeah. Then that's what I was told. Like, I went to a technical school, and you finally get into a job, and really there's like, well, really it's just to show that one, you can complete something, you can start something and finish it. And that's the main reason of even getting a degree. So I was like, oh, great. Thanks. So I guess I spent all that money for that. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. I you go to school and you feel fleeced after a point, it's like,
oh yeah.
Dude. At least I lost some weight out of my pocket, out of my wallet. Good way to lose weight,
Yeah, go to college. Yeah. Oh my God.
Very quickly. Yeah.
What a boondoggle that became.
It really has. I mean, I thought it was expensive back in the 80s, 40 years ago. My gosh.
Yeah.
It's nothing. You're paying a full salary.
Nothing compared to today,
Right. Well, once they started handing out government-backed loans, it was over, dude.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Omer, for coming in. Later.
See you, Omer.
Good stuff. Pulled a quick move and flipped to the top. I might just win this.
And since Good Stuff is here and did the trailer, I think we need to show it again, Aaron.
Yeah, okay.
For people that came in late.
Sure, let's go ahead and show the trailer. Yeah, definitely.
I'll find you, Locutus, my creator. From your chaotic bones I shall make my order. Congratulations, recruits.
I'm so excited.
I don't want to babysit two spoiled princes.
I need to make a good impression for the soldiers. This is a silly waste of time.
What? Is that my long-lost magic ruby? Empress, find my ruby.
Your will is my command, my master. We're invading Terra to find Balmain's ruby.
Go forth, save the innocent, and punish the wicked.
Yes, Father. I have an easy life. But is that all there is?
The ruby could win this war once and for all. Let's kick the nest and see what falls out.
Locutus calls to his creations for help.
Where are we?
What are those things? We have to get out of here.
Have the gods gone mad?
The Bomanites have invaded Terra. Has the last shard of Locutus' heart been found?
The war cannot continue without the heart. We can't risk losing it if it's there.
You've come to the wrong place. Terra is under my protection.
Yeah.
Did he say the Obamanites? the Obamanites are coming.
Bastards.
Don't let them back into. Oh, never mind.
No.
They're here to blame all of the straight white males. It's all there.
Now, are you? Yeah, Hex is the only one that can survive. Have you thought about putting more gaming elements into this? Like,
oh, great question. Yeah, actually,
you know,
well, there is a map in the comic at the beginning of the comic, but I'm actually going to go farther with it. I'm planning on doing a source book, which I have a lot already written, and it's going to be tailored towards tabletop guys. What's up? Give me a minute, okay? I'll be done in a little bit, okay? Sorry. Yeah, you're gonna be doing a source book, and so if you've ever played a tabletop game, it'll be like some of the different job classes that are unique to Immortal Rising. I'm going to put into the source book, so other DMs can pull them out and use them in their own game, and also some of our our house rules for our game. I'll be putting in that source book as well, as you know, and then like maybe some backstory to different elements that
making
are
it more immersive and more
Yeah.
interactive.
Yep. Yeah. So if you really like it, you can play in the world if you like. And if you don't want to, it's like a lot of tabletop guys, they don't necessarily want to jump into a full campaign that's, you know, somebody else's. A lot of them do their own, like I did. But they will take monsters, they will take job classes and put them into their world. So
Well, you
I want
said
to
this
offer
was
that kind
a
of stuff.
3-issue arc, but is it going to continue? It's going to continue after issue 3, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. The main story that's introduced in the first book of the invasion and, you know, the evil artifact that they're after and the heart of Locutus and all these different aspects. Yeah, I have it kind of outlined roughly because a few years ago when I got on this crazy kick where I wrote out the story, like I got way into it and wrote it way out, and so I'll probably, you know, cut a lot of it off and condense it down,
Pare
to
it
make
down.
yeah, just pare it all down. And I want to say maybe 10 books or something, but I'm gonna have to be very choosy about where I go with the story and what I include and stuff like that. But yes, in fact, I'm writing the 4th one right now.
Oh, excellent.
Which we get away from, you know, basically them. The main, this story arc is them learning how to be a team, you know, and getting over some of their shit. And then going forward, it's kind of like dealing with the world that they found themselves in more. So you'll be seeing things like vampires and werewolves and shit more.
Nice.
Whereas this one is much more of the Bamanites, where it's more like fantasy monster army.
The Bamanites. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They came from the planet Bama. I forget.
Bama. Yeah, they come from Alabama. No.
Bama Nights.
Yeah.
That's still in Alabama. There you go. Some at the football
Obama
stadiums.
Nights.
Well, it's sold out, guys. Sold to a bunch
Yeah.
of Bama Nights.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Aaron, what was your overage print run on the first book?
So
Do you
I
have
was
a
able
certain
to.
percentage, a certain sweet spot you go for every time?
Not really. I'm just kind of putting it out there, going through the motions, and to learn how to do this. So then, like the first time was more difficult than this time to organize everything, and then the third time will be, so eventually I'll get it to where I'm able to do it just, second hand without having to put a lot
think
of
it's
effort
almost
into it.
like giving birth, because these are your babies, right? It's like
It's easier.
it gets easier the more you have.
Yeah. Loosen up a little bit,
Yeah.
No.
Hips are a bit wider now.
Yeah. But no, so the first one I was able to print out, I think like 200 copies. I sold all those, and
wow,
over time. So yeah, that was super awesome. A lot of people bought the double bundle. Like I sold 2 issue number 1s together. A lot of that, and I should have done that on this one, but I thought, you know what? Let me just offer what I have, so I don't overcomplicate it.
Some people put retailer bundles. I did with my Ashcan, but not on the current book. But you really have to reach out to different stores and things like that. But it is cool when you can offer them a bundle. I know Jason Bascom kind of does that. It's like, how about 5 copies or 10 or whatever,
Yeah. Well, and that's something I want to kind of work up to, to where I feel I know what I'm doing to be able to handle something like that. So yeah. Not only that, but like getting into
fulfilling. Did you do the fulfillment on the first one?
It's all Critical Blast.
Oh, okay.
I had a feeling. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he handles all of my stuff. So I have a good experience with him. I haven't had any complaints from customers about things being bent or beat up or anything like that.
He's fantastic.
So I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah,
because like the way he structures it, he puts the cost for his services. Is basically you just account for it in the shipping. So it's all taken care of.
He's figured it all out. Man, what a mind
Yeah.
he's got. Wow.
And man, I'm excited to see where he goes because what he's building for himself, I think, is just going to help the whole community of indies in general. So, in fact, the only reason I would say off the top, the main reason I'm not using him to do my printing as well is just because he doesn't offer like small stuff. Like I don't think he can saddle stitch, and he doesn't glossy page yet. So when he's able to do that kind of stuff, I may switch to him just because he just do it all in house, save on some shipping.
Yeah,
I think I'd probably do that. I don't want glossy on my comics. I like matte finish.
Yeah,
go talk to him
myself, but and I'm going with the saddle stitch, but it's like
and there's nothing wrong with the perfect bound 24-page comic at all. Like,
there's not. I just prefer, the saddle stitching myself.
Yeah,
you can open it wide and open it out.
Yeah.
It's a little different. Yep. So it's just small things like that. But
I'm
he's
just
working on those.
So many people are going perfect bound, but then when it comes to these crowdfunding things, it's like nobody wants to do. I mean, you almost have to do like a minimum of like 48 pages or 30 something, to unless you've got a really great price point, and printer that can print on, and not price yourself out, but actually make a little, or at least break even. If you're breaking even, I think you're losing money, because you're not accounting for a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true. Like, so you talk numbers and money and stuff like, I have not made the cost of the art at all, but a lot of these what this campaigns do for me is, one, gets me lessons, and 2, it's kind of like, where was I going with that? It pays for the printing and the shipping. which is really what I really want. You know, it's like
Right.
you get the fans in, they'll come back once they see
and you're getting
the art
press
and they
say
like the
what you
story.
want to say. That's a lot. I mean, I'm the same way. I've put way more into it than I'm getting out of it, and then that's
Sure.
fine because.
But that's just for now. Like that's short term. Like
exactly.
I'll have these books to sell for the rest of my life.
How
so
How do you start a tree, a seed? You know, and that seed has to grow.
Right.
Yep. A lot of water and dirt.
Yeah.
And sun.
Sure. Yeah.
And some fertilizer along the way.
Yeah, quite a bit of that now and again on Twitter.
Like this show.
Right. Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm having a good time with it, and I'm looking forward to finishing this campaign and then dealing with the third one. I'm waiting for that.
Got any other shows lined up in the near future already?
Let's see. I got you guys today, and then tomorrow I will be on Pumpkin Prince, I think is her name.
Okay.
And then I'll also be on I can't remember his name. It's like Ascendant or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll be on 2 shows tomorrow, and then Monday I'll be on Madness, the Madness Network. Yeah, I think I'll be on with him and somebody else, and then the rest of the week I have not figured out completely yet. Yeah, I'm not. I've done so many shows. I'm running out of shows.
I've never heard of Pumpkin Princess.
Red Valkyrie.
I tried hitting her up. I haven't from Shay. I haven't heard back from her, so I don't know.
Yeah, and you haven't hit me up yet, so you'll have to get you on here pretty soon.
Fair enough. I thought this counted, but if this doesn't count, that's fine.
No, this doesn't count.
There's like 3 of us.
Of course it counts, but not that way. No.
You're getting a group of us to promote you, so that's a bonus. So yeah,
I appreciate it. I appreciate the time as well. So
you can never have enough overexposure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, because you never know who's gonna be watching,
Exactly.
So it's like, he missed that one show, but he happened to be on YouTube, and there's Rex is streaming. Oh, who's Rex got on? Oh wow, I really like that project. That's what happened while my quiz out.
It not only helps you, but it helps the channel that you're on too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if
I
somebody's
agree.
willing to host you, it's like, hey, come into the house. You might bring some people that follow you around, and you might pick up the channel might get new subscribers, and I love the cross pollination of going from channel to channel.
I do too.
It's fun. Yeah, and I didn't do that for a while. I mostly hung out on my own and hosted people, but I really I'm digging the tour. I don't mind the tour so much this time as the first time. It was much more exhausting. Trying to keep up with everything and all that stuff, and I've gotten better at speaking on camera.
Did you have a pretty good sign up initially?
I hit 100 in what's up, Dave? I hit 100 signups in I don't know a couple months, so that was really good. It was a lot better than my first time. But I went on a tour to promote my sign up, so I didn't do that on my first one.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but I've also been picking up a lot of followers on Twitter and on YouTube this time as well. So that's great.
That's right. RJ delivered everything. Everybody was happy for the first one.
No problems.
You got that momentum behind you. That wind in your sails, and
you
kind
of proving myself.
The first one was kind of proving yourself. You said it was a little bit later than you wanted with the first one, a little bit.
Well, the first one, yes, because of going over like corrections that had to be made, which is why I held up on the second one, because I was like, I need to be able to do this. I need to empower myself to be able to do the small shit, the small corrections. Mm-hmm. And so like if I need to change a page thing here or there, I can. Well, I learned how to do that, but I also learned how to go in and move balloons, change dialogue, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'm
much more confident.
Yeah, I mean, that's great that you took the time to do that. Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
And I think that if the public likes what you're selling, they're going to be there.
Yeah.
When you're ready to push the button and say, okay, it's go.
Yeah,
then
it's time to go.
It's
Well,
time
and,
to go, right? But
I
I mean,
really think
people
with the
are
conventions,
understanding. They just,
yeah,
I mean, you update your campaigns, right, and keep people in the loop. So
yeah,
that's that I see that as a big problem. We've talked about that before. People don't update and keep people in the loop about what's going on, potential problems or delays.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And every
I
campaign has them in some way or another.
I put up an update about the shirt fiasco. I was like, guys, I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Here's what happened.
Boo, kill him.
Yeah, boo.
At least you're honest to your backers, which is very important.
You gotta be. I'm just a man too.
I tried to be dishonest and shifty, but it just didn't work.
It seems like Graham Nolan's probably the best at actually doing updates. He does it week to week. I've seen emails every week. Is Graham Nolan with there's Joe Frankenstein.
And October's coming up, and you know what that means with Graham. He's going to be on every day for 31 days talking monster movies.
Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome. I thought I saw him
He's
saying
done that
Graham
for
Nolan.
several years.
Yeah.
Not just on YouTube. He was doing it before he got on YouTube.
Oh, that's fun.
That's really cool.
And I don't always agree with his picks, And I was like, man, I hated this movie. It was fatalistic. I was talking about The Mist, and he's like, all right, Rex, I got it. You don't like the movie. It's like, I didn't like what a dreary ending. And you could see it. Okay, I guarantee you, after he offs everybody, they're going to come over the hill. And that's exactly what happened. And I thought, what a downer ending. What a downer ending. And I know that's different than the book, but it was a great concept for a movie, howbeit not totally original.
Yeah.
It was, the execution of it. And I just thought the characterization sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, and I hope in Immortal Rising, you get that characterization. You get not only that, but you get personalities come out of that.
Yeah.
You really don't. You don't have a character till you get a flavor of their personality.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
if
well
there was
put.
And you had to build up to that. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm hoping for the
Unless
third
you got
campaign.
chainsaw.
I'm hoping for the third campaign to have done some conventions, and get some books out there in stores and whatnot. And in the books, I plan to have like a QR code so that I can send them to somewhere, either to like a mailing list or a sign up or something. I don't know yet, so I'll have to work that one out. But then when I do my next campaign, people will already know about it. A lot more people will be aware. So that's the hope.
I think so too. All right. Well, I'm gonna go wrap it up, guys.
Wrap it up. Hex, you got anything to say? You've been awful quiet again.
I'm not used to talking that much,
Shut up.
So everyone back in Immortal Rising, burnt offerings.
Man eats dog. You don't see that every day.
I pinned the campaign in the pin message so you guys can find it and click it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Get out there and vote. Get out
I
there
am
and vote.
buy my book.
Next Friday, October 4th, I'll be hosting Jimmy Reyes 3 p.m. show on my channel to promote Dragon Rage for his
Second Chance,
book.
Right?
Second Chance, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be on Friday, October 4th at 3 p.m. And every day you'll see Rex on 4 o'clock Shadow. And
definitely.
Hex, you got any shows?
Nothing planned, no. Just being busy.
I hear you, man.
Working on some Nephilim Squadron, eh?
Yeah. Busy and tired.
Yeah.
I hear you.
How's the weather where you're at, Aaron? We got a lot of rain from that hurricane.
It has not hit me. I'm in the Midwest, and I'm expecting once it pushes farther into land, I'll probably get some storms from that. But Yeah, so far it's nice and sunny. Actually, it's been a little
Apex,
dry
did
here.
you get any? Did you get any rain, Apex? He's froze.
I got some. We got some last
He's checked
week.
out.
Did you?
Last week
Okay.
we got rain. Nothing this week. It's
Okay.
sunny. It's sun.
Maybe
So
it's
we should
headed
maybe
your
get
way. I
a
don't
little
know.
bit
Maybe it
later
won't reach that
next
far.
week. I don't know.
But
I
it
don't know.
was
She
so-
looks big.
It was
could
so
be.
dry. It was so
Oh,
dry
fuck.
till this rain came in. It was like the I went outside and my lawn was going water.
Yeah, that's my backyard right now.
Moisture.
Yeah.
Every single blade is
Yeah.
screaming out.
Yeah. Well, it
Yeah.
got water. It did get rained on, you know.
Man,
standing
I've seen
water.
some of the video coming out of like Tennessee and Florida. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
it's horrible.
Oh, they were talking 145 mile an hour winds. Wow.
Oh,
What do you
That's enough
do?
to take down a house, you know.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, Derek.
Fight today, guys. We'll see you guys next video. Have a
Go-
great this weekend.
Now
right, happy
you're
Saturday.
on Indiegogo, right?
I am on Indiegogo. Yes.
Go check out Immortal Rising on Indiegogo.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
right.
You bet.
You know,
Check
Aaron
it
likes
out.
to eat.
you. Yeah, my
too, you
children love to eat.
Yeah.
You know, mac and
That's right.
cheese costs,
They
folks.
keep
I got
breaking in.
5 kids to feed.
Oh my God!
That's why they keep breaking into
Come
the
on,
dungeon.
me. You know,
They're
I'm
like,
a
"Feed me,
bachelor. I can
Daddy."
feed them for a day. Or two.
Feed the goblins.
Feed the goblins, right?
All right. Ciao for now.
See you.
Bye, guys.